Late one evening, in the quiet town of Ravensbrook, a solitary house stood at the edge of the dense forest. It was a house that had been abandoned for decades, shrouded in mystery and ominous tales. The locals called it the Whisper's House, for at night, when the wind blew just right, one could hear indistinct murmurs coming from within its walls. Emily, a young journalist with a penchant for the supernatural, decided to investigate the house for her next big story. Armed with nothing but her camera and a flashlight, she ventured into the old mansion as the sun dipped below the horizon. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, and each step she took seemed to echo louder than the last. The interiors were a relic of the past: dusty furniture, cobwebs hanging from the ceiling, and yellowed wallpaper peeling off the walls. As Emily navigated through the rooms, she couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. Her heart raced as she entered a room at the end of the corridor. It was a child's bedroom, untouched by time. Toys were strewn across the floor, and a small bed with a worn-out blanket stood against the wall. Suddenly, the faint whispers began. Emily froze, her flashlight flickering. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling. The whispers grew louder, more distinct. They seemed to be saying, "Leave, before it's too late." Ignoring the warning, Emily pressed on, her curiosity getting the better of her. She followed the sound, leading her to a secret passage behind a bookshelf. As she descended the creaky stairs, the whispers turned into agonized cries. The basement was damp and cold, filled with the stench of decay. Illuminating the room with her flashlight, she discovered remnants of a ritual: burnt candles, strange symbols drawn on the floor, and a large wooden chest. With shaking hands, Emily opened the chest. What she found inside made her blood run cold: a collection of old, weathered journals. Flipping through the pages, she uncovered the dark story of the house. It belonged to a twisted cult that performed gruesome rituals, sacrificing anyone who dared to enter. Legend said that the souls of those sacrificed were trapped within the walls, forever whispering warnings to intruders. Horrified, Emily decided to leave immediately. But as she turned to go back up the stairs, she found the passage blocked by a heavy, wooden door that wasn't there before. The whispers grew deafening, overwhelming her senses. The room seemed to close in on her. Panic set in, and she banged on the door, screaming for help. Hours passed, and the townsfolk noticed Emily hadn't returned. A search party was formed, but when they reached the house, there was no sign of her. Only her camera was found, lying on the ground outside the mansion. When they reviewed the footage, they saw Emily's terrified face, her last moments captured. The whispers were the only sound. To this day, the house remains abandoned, and the whispers continue. No one dares to enter, for fear of becoming the next victim of the cursed Whispers house. People say that if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear Emily's voice, joining the others, warning future adventurers to stay away.